Doing student theatre has kind of been the highlight of my Cambridge experience. There's a real sense of community. It's really uplifting. I've been able to meet people from different colleges. Also it's been a massive confidence booster. Starting university can be so scary, you're suddenly independent. And going to those auditions, as daunting as it was, kind of taught me to put myself out there. I don't know how I'd be coping without it. I grew up visiting my sister. She went to ARU, so I visited Cambridge a lot on the weekends, and I fell in love with the city. It's beautiful. But Cambridge was never a possibility for me. I was very much awed by the people who studied here. And I kind of got into year 12, was getting really high grades and felt quite confident academically, but it still felt like very much a dream. It wasn't a possible thing. It was kind of a fantasy I had in the back of my mind. We had a poster in my sixth form for open day, and I didn't really know anything about the colleges, and I thought I'd go along. It was very nerve-wracking telling my mum, because that kind of made it a real thing that I could be disappointed by. And I went to this open day, met some really incredible, very intelligent people, and felt really out of my depth. But as they were talking to us about what they kind of expected from a Cambridge student, my mum said to me, "That sounds like you." And so I kind of thought, well, I'll give it a go. But it was still a dream for me. It wasn't something that was feasible. It was a fantasy. I was thinking about applying to university. I knew I wanted to study English, but my school had never had anybody apply to Oxbridge before. They didn't really know how to help me. There are a few more steps to applying to Cambridge, which made it a bit more complicated for me, but I kind of had to lead myself through that process. So I think there were a lot of barriers to me applying, and I think it would have been very easy to back out, but I kind of persisted. When it came to the interview, I was actually ill. I wasn't confident at all. I was really, really nervous, and that kind of put a pin in it for me. I left the interview and I was like, it's not going to happen. But I had done really well on my ELAC, and I'd got the required grades. I basically got into the August reconsideration pool. I was actually playing The Sims at about 7 o'clock at night, and I got a phone call from Cambridge. They told me I had a place at Robinson, which was just like a dream. I was told I was going to be a Pegasus Scholar, which is a 3-week donor-funded programme wherein we got one-to-one supervisions and got to test out the kind of Cambridge system of learning, and also got the opportunity to meet people from similar backgrounds to me. It made Cambridge seem a lot more normal. The Pegasus scheme was a game changer for me. I went from not believing I could ever belong at Cambridge to feeling really comfortable and a part of a community here. I knew before coming to Cambridge that I really wanted to get involved in student theatre. That was actually a big part of why I loved Cambridge. And I think it was the second day of Fresher Week, I got an email talking about this sketch show called A Comprehensive Understanding, which was targeted at state school students and getting them represented in student theatre, student comedy. And so I went to an audition and was terrified, shaking. And it was really, really supportive. They wanted me to succeed, and they saw me as an adult and a performer. Was incredible. And that was my kind of first step into Cambridge Theatre. Since then it's been a real roller coaster. This term I'm doing Squires, which is a student written comedy that's actually going to Fringe, and in May week I'll be doing The Two Gentlemen of Verona. I am now Access Officer. I do a lot of open days, outreach schemes, trying to tell people who don't believe they can apply to Cambridge that they very much can, that I'm like a primary example. I'm really lucky to have benefited from the Pegasus scheme, which was entirely donor funded, but I'm also aware that the tuition fees aren't enough to cover the Cambridge teaching system. The non-academic part of Cambridge is just as important as the academics, and it's been kind of integral to my experience here. I came into the Pegasus scheme really, really daunted. I felt like a small fish in a very, very big pond. And being able to engage in student theatre and societies has made me much more confident as a person. I've made incredible friends, and I wouldn't change anything. Before starting the Pegasus scheme, I was just a sixth former, really, really daunted. And then the Pegasus scheme and student theatre here, I feel like I've been reborn. I feel like a new person. And the community and the friends I've made here has been incredible.